Hello, everybody, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast, where we empower, inspire, and uplift women to be the goddesses they were meant to be. I am your co host, Julietta, also called the Magical PT, coming to you live from sunny South Florida, where I own Body and Soul Physical Therapy. And it is a holistic based PT practice where I help you find balance in not just your body, but your mind and spirit as well. And in addition to that, and being this podcast host, I also create art and jewelry with crystals. And haven't painted in a while, but I'm starting to get the itch that I need to paint again. I have some ideas in my head. And I'm joined here with my lovely co-host, Allison.
Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here. My name is Allison Mancini, and I am also living in South Florida. Originally a Michigander, but I've been down here so long now. I've been down here forever. But I am a mom to two adult children, a son who's 25 and a daughter who's 22. I've been married for 28 years. And I am a human resources director for a company called The Goal, Goal, Digger Girl. And I'm also a functional nutritionist. And I'm a co-host of this podcast. And I also have dogs, a lot of them right now. So I'm just giving heads up to our audience. If you hear puppies whining or dogs barking, that would be my zoo over here.
So I saw your post on Facebook earlier this week, and it kind of feeds into, as we're sitting there listing off all the things we do. But
wait.
Oh, yes.
We need to do something very important, which is to introduce our sponsor for the month. And we are so excited. Julietta, do you want to hold up your Voices of the Goddess mug?
Yes, I do.
Mine's actually in the other room, and I'm not going to step away and grab it right now, but it's full of coffee, and I left it there. So this is our Voices of the Goddess mug that we had personally created for us by the most amazing Alicia Boateng. She is a celebrity cup designer, and the name of her company is Alicia Boateng Designs. And Alicia is a mother of four. I still can't believe she has 4 kids. She is a wife and a passionate coffee lover. She is a former wedding planner and has always been an exceptional creative individual. She turned an ordinary coffee cup into an extraordinary, dazzling, and empowering vessel that speaks volumes to women of all colors all over the world. She has been seen on, get ready for this, The Today Show with Hoda and Jenna, Reader's Digest, Forbes, Food Network, ABC, Fox, MSN, Your California Life, Gift Shop Magazine, Sheen Magazine, and Lifestyle Magazine. And if you want to learn anything about Alicia and the beautiful mugs that she has, along with our very own Voices of the Goddess mug, you can go check out her website. It is aliciaboateng.com, and they truly are beautiful. I have bought her mugs for gifts for the holidays. She has a really, really cool 4th of July heart. Have you seen that one yet?
I have not.
It's a heart shape and it's got like the flag in it. You know what I mean? It's really, really cool. And then, of course, our amazing Voices of the Goddess mugs. I mean, hello, they're incredible.
Yeah. So if you want one, they're available for purchase, but also we just finished one Facebook challenge and someone won a mug, and we do have another one that's going to be winnable shortly. So if you're not in our Circle of Goddesses group, get in there so you can find out what you need to do to win your own mug.
Mm-hmm.
And
now we can go on to our conversation.
Because we've done it both ways before. We've also done the commercial after we talked. So anyway, it's all good. But what I'm saying is I saw your post earlier this week about having multiple streams of income, and, listening to all of the cajillion things that I'm listing off that I'm doing and that you're listing off as you're doing, but I'm not a millionaire yet. Like, what's going on?
Well, what's interesting to me is, did you know that they've done a research study, and on average, millionaires have 7 streams of income. Now, those are not necessarily all businesses or products or services. Some of it is investments and dividends and capital gains and things like that. But part of that multiple streams is definitely affiliates with other companies, or doing like the hobby that you absolutely love to do, like malas and painting, and make some great cash on the side, like a great side hustle. So I think we talk about this all the time on this show, how, when we grew up, at least this is how I remember it. When I grew up, it was like you found your career and that's what you did. Like you went to college, you got your degree, and that you did the ABC, right? And now my children are 25 and 22. We're going through that over the last couple of years with my son. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to fit into this square little box anymore. You can do A, B, C, D, and Z if you want to. I mean, I don't, whatever makes you, happy. And I think Julietta, I think you are such a great example of that, because you do have many different facets. I have more like affiliate, I'm affiliated with a couple companies for affiliate programs and that kind of thing. And there goes the barking. So I'm going to let you jump in here while I deal with this really quickly.
Oh, we love the puppies. They're, we get to hear from them too. They're just barking in their agreement. So, but anyway, so yes, I'll keep working on my multiple streams of income. And if you're watching the show, like, I'd love to hear in the comments, do you have multiple streams of income, or are you just relying on that one paycheck and that's all you do? And because I feel like, if that's working for you, that's great. But I think there's so many more options out there these days for people. But with that, it is time to bring on our guest. Super excited to have you here today, Erin. Welcome to the show.
To be here.
So will you please introduce yourself to our audience and tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do, your amazing book that you've written, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. And I kind of love the lead-in of talking about all of the different things, the multiple streams of income. My name is Erin Copelan. I also live in South Florida, near Fort Lauderdale. And I'm the owner of Simply Massage, located in Wilton Manors. But I am also the author of the Amazon best-selling book. I'm getting used to saying it. It's super fun. The title of the book is Welcome to Caregiving, the Things Caregivers Never Talk About. And I also created the sister guide to that, which is the Patient Handbook, which is a planning system to help caregivers and patients just navigate schedules and questions and all of those fun medical things. So I developed both of those and launched both of those at the end of last month. So it's been really exciting. Married to my husband, Jerry. He, 25, 26, 27 years we've been together, just a couple lifetimes. And the book is based on my caregiving experience with him as he was diagnosed with liver cancer and had a liver transplant. And for more little unique perspective on it, he was diagnosed when we lived in Los Angeles, and we moved to Texas and then to Florida. So we've dealt with all different medical centers and different surgeries, and definitely a whirlwind of activity. So
I love that. So my daughter has two pretty serious medical conditions that I've dealt with since she was one. Mm-hmm. So I could have used your handbook desperately back then. I mean, now I know, but I didn't then. And there isn't anything out there. There wasn't anything out there then, for sure, when I was going through that. And people don't understand when you are the caregiver like that, whether it's a child, a parent, a spouse, whatever, it is a full-time job. It is a full-time job. It's a lot of work.
And you're thrown into it, and there's no training. And and so the perspective I bring to the book is it's there's no right way to do it, and there's no wrong way. It's just all with love. Yeah. Because that's where all of the caregiving comes from, is that place of love, and being able to turn that love around onto yourself. Mm-hmm. It's a real challenge. Mm-hmm. And so I really want to get that message out to people that it's okay to feel yucky about what you're doing. It's okay to feel mad. It's okay to laugh. My book's actually really funny.
Good. That's
people-
good.
people-
You got to
people
find
were
humor in it.
surprised about that. They're like, you made me cry and like a tear fell from my eye and then I burst out laughing. So
That's awesome. Well, good for you for doing that. I think that's fabulous.
thank you.
Love it.
And if you want to get that book, you can check out the show notes and it will direct you to how to get that book.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So with that, we're ready to dive into our questions, Erin. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
So our first question is, other than your own book,
Okay.
what is one book that you wish every goddess would read and why?
So it's funny because I was like, is it weird if I talk about my book or weird if I don't talk about my book? I mean, which is weirder?
It's weirder if you don't talk about it. I'm just going to put that there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
absolutely.
you. Thank you. But I just did that. And so I'm going to go really old school with my book recommendation and go all the way back to Louise Hay and You Can Heal Your Life. And I'm going way back because reading that book, even if you've already read it, so I think a lot of goddesses probably have it on their nightstand like I do. And when something feels funky, I'll be like, okay, what's this about? What is the affirmation I need? What am I doing? But the first time I read the book, I was like, this is a lot of woo-woo crazy. Like I really thought it was crazy. And I developed, my mindset developed, I changed, I grew. And the next time I read it, it like peeled back a whole other layer. Mm-hmm. And so if you haven't read it in a long time, because I feel like, again, a lot of your goddesses tuning in know it, have read it, I would say take another look at it and see what else you can find in it. Because I think there's all kinds of tidbits in there.
So I know that we've already chosen our book club for the next month, but I remember us talking about doing one of Louise Hay's books. So we need to throw that in for a later
another month ahead.
Yeah. Like an oldie but goodie. I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And what I love, I mean, because Louise Hay was, so ahead of her time with all of this. And now there are a lot of books out there about emotions and how they're connected to the body. My practice, that's a big portion of my practice is, we do the physical component, but if you don't address and acknowledge the emotional components that is contributing to this, you're just going to end up with another problem. And so important to look at those things and peel them away and, to fully be able to heal your body. And, love Louise Hay for her contributions there, and also for her, starting her publishing house, and for so many other people that are quote unquote woo-woo, right, being able to get their knowledge, wisdom out there into the world, because she published so many people that couldn't get published.
Right. It used to be the only place people could go. And yeah.
So Amazon
thankfully people
where you can no self-publishing out there, on Amazon like there is today. But so yes, great gratitude for Louise. And that is one thing I love about us and our book club and having the show. And I am rereading a lot of books that I read so many years ago. And, I have both the full You Can Heal Your Life, and then I have just the little pocket guide that, for quick reference, both on my shelf right over there. And
my copy I got the fancy illustrated copy. So it's got all these beautiful pictures and artwork in it too. So I love my book.
I actually had 2 copies of the little reference guide, and one of my clients came in last week asking about asking questions about the book, and if it would be something that she could use to help herself, and then she was like, okay, I'm going to order it. And I'm like, here, take my second copy. It is yours. And so I was like, yeah, that's what that second copy was there for.
There you go.
Share the love.
All right. Our next question, because we need to move along here, is, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is your favorite self-care practice, and how does it support you in your everyday?
So it's funny. I did a workshop about this last night, and I think my favorite self-care practice is really recognizing taking the pause. So it doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something excessive. It might be, for me, I love sitting in my car in the Publix parking lot and singing a song for 5 minutes.
Nice. I love it.
I play my air drums. Like, I think people can't see me when I'm in my invisible jet car. But that's self-care for me.
Yeah.
And so recognizing those little moments and not making it something big and heavy and excessive, like, oh, I don't know, I'm not taking a whole week off. I'm not,
Yeah.
and giving myself the recognition for taking those moments, even if it's getting a body wash that I like in the shower so that my showers give me some more fulfillment. That's self-care for me. So it's recognizing all those little pauses. And I like coloring. When I really need to check out, I like to color.
I knew someone that used to like to color. She purposely would buy those, coloring books that they have for adults now. And she would sit and for her, it was so therapeutic. When she was stressed out, she would sit there and color. Yeah, I think that's cool. It's funny because I was talking to somebody yesterday. So I'm not a big, quote unquote, I'm not a big TV watcher. Like, I don't watch cable. I don't watch like regular TV, but I stream like Hulu and Netflix and those kinds of things. And Hulu, you get commercials, and there's a really funny commercial on Hulu right now. And it's this woman sitting in her parked car in her driveway. And it's actually a car commercial. And you see her screaming at the top of her lungs, sitting in her car, and she's facing out towards the street. And a neighbor's walking by, and the neighbor's like, "Hey, Rhonda." And she's just sitting there and she's screaming. You can't hear her outside the car, but you can see she's screaming and she's waving. And then you go back inside the car with this woman and she's still screaming. And then she stops and she gives this big sigh of relief, and this smile comes over her face. And then her phone comes on, her speakerphone in her car is like, "You did," as a friend or something, goes, "You did know you weren't on mute, right?" And she's like, "No, I didn't." And the friend says, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I am now." And the whole commercial was for a car company, but basically saying how stress is one of the leading causes of accidents, and do whatever you need to do to de-stress before you do that. So they were showing her screaming her head off for that moment, right? To just take care of me and get out what I need to get out and then go on my way. I think it's the greatest commercial. It cracks me up every single time I see it.
It's a good one. That's a good one.
That made me think of
go on Hulu and watch a show just to see.
I know. And that made me think of it when you said taking a pause, because that's what that shows to me. She's taking that moment to herself to just do whatever it is she needs to do so she can move on. So I thought that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question, Erin, is we all have difficult days, but we still need to show up and get things done. So when you're having one of those days, how do you rise up and get through your day?
I think Monday was one of those days for me.
So fresh. All right.
Right?
How'd you do it?
Right? It's right on the top of my mind. Usually if I feel like I can't show up, there's a very specific reason, because for most of the things I do in life, I enjoy doing them. And so I try to really make space, and sometimes it's physical space, sometimes it's mental, but I really like to try to pay attention to what I'm feeling, what my actual feelings are. Am I doing something? Am I not wanting to show up because I didn't want to do it to begin with? So did I commit to something I didn't want to do? Or am I too much in my masculine energy and I'm just taskmaster, do, and I haven't made time and space for my more feminine flowing side? Or maybe I do need to take a pause. Like I said, I've just been doing too many things and I actually need to stop. And so if I can clear some time out of the schedule, if I can walk away, even if it's for 5 minutes to walk around the block and come back to it, if I can't avoid it, but getting in touch really with my feelings to see where it's coming from, why I can't show up, that's the biggest thing for me, because then I can adjust my actions in the future so I don't repeatedly feel like I can't show up.
Yeah.
Well, and I love you talking about saying yes to things that, committing to things that you didn't really want to commit to. And, I think of Julietta in the past. I said yes to everybody, yes, I love them. I'm going to show up for them. Yes, yes, yes. And so often I couldn't say no, and had to learn how to honor myself and say no when
it's hard.
No,
it's hard. It's an acquired skill for sure.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right. Our next question for you is, what is a life experience that has played a big role in forming who you are today?
It's so hard to pick just one.
I know.
All those little tipping points, all those moments. I feel like the biggest one was the job I had before I became a massage therapist, which now I've been a licensed massage therapist for 10 years now. I refer to it as the Devil Wears Prada job. So I don't know if you ladies have seen that movie.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I just saw someone put up a TikTok of Anne Hathaway and I forget who, but they were presenting an award on costuming, and Meryl was in the audience, and so they were kind of doing a little skit thing, and who didn't you didn't get her coffee? I didn't,
Yeah, I worked for one of those. What was her name in the movie? I can't think of her name. Anyways, I worked for someone like that for 2 years, and I about died. Yeah, seriously.
And it was a 2-assistant situation. In my case, the previous person had left, but everything was why aren't you that person?
Oh man.
And so it fell into one of those categories in my life where it was both the worst time of my life and the best thing that ever could have happened to me, because I was letting people treat me in a way they shouldn't be treating me. I made myself sick. I think I lost 25 pounds. I was really ill, and I said, I can't do this. And so then what am I going to do? Am I going to make a parallel move to do this same thing somewhere else? Well, that didn't make sense to me. And so it really made me stop and think about what I wanted to do, and what I wanted to do for me, what I wanted to do for the world, everything. And so that place started me on the trajectory to where I am today, because I was able to start my massage business. And that led into other things. It gave space. Having my own business gave me space to take care of my husband when he needed me to be there for him, which all ultimately led into my book and the handbook. And here I am now with you ladies. So
that's awesome.
That was a huge, huge tipping point for me.
I think a lot of people have had those jobs. And while I've been a PT, I mean, that's what I graduated from high school and decided I was going to college to become a PT. And so I've been a PT. I'm in my 31st year of PTing here, which is insane to me. But before I got to where I am now, I worked 4 different jobs. And it was that last one that was just, I was working for someone who was his private practice, whereas the ones before that were a little bit more corporate. But just how miserable he treated all of us, but then also seeing, like, if this jerk can run his own practice, I most certainly can run my own practice. So, it was, because, and I don't know if PT school, I know PT school has changed a lot today, but I don't know if they now offer more information about the concept of going into private practice. But when I was in PT school, it was all about, no, you're going to graduate and then you're going to go get a job. And, so that the whole idea of going into private practice was just not out there. And it was, I'm going to be in this job. I'm going to be in this job. And after that last one, I'm like, I just can't be in a job. I just can't do it. And, so
I always tell people I just don't play well with others.
Don't play well in the sandbox, huh?
At least not in the work environment. And
Not in the work sandbox.
Like my own little mini Zen garden of my own, with my own little rake and my own little rocks. And I set them up just how I want them, and no one rearranges it. And no, it's just mine.
And I find more and more people are like, I don't ever think that was ever a conversation years ago. And now it's like, I talk to people and they pretty much at the stage that we're at, they're like, oh no, I can't work for somebody else. Like, I have to work for myself. But there are those people that I know that are like, I do not want to work for myself. I just want to take home a paycheck. Everybody's so different. I like the happy medium. I kind of like doing both. So, yeah, but I think that's awesome. And like Julietta said, I think we've all had that experience of working for that Devil Wears Prada woman. Or a man, I suppose. It could be a man.
Yep.
For sure.
All right. So to wrap things up with our time with you today, what would be one thing that you would want our audience to take away from our time with you today?
That the importance of taking the pause, just taking the moment. It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be heavy. And then honoring yourself for taking those moments. So many times I will do things and then I'll tell myself it wasn't enough. It wasn't big enough. It wasn't enough. And so recognizing that actually I am doing things for myself, and I can be proud of the things that I'm doing for myself, even if it's 10 minutes in the Publix parking lot. That's cool. It's okay.
I'm going to be driving around stalking Publix.
Looking you'll see me. You won't miss me because I'm like, yeah, air drums, all the singing. I'm not really shy about it.
So I recently went through a leadership course, and the woman who did the leadership course, she and a business friend, they don't live anywhere by each other, but they have this thing, and they have a name for it, and I forget what they call it, but basically they call each other up and they're like, okay, you ready to rock it out? And she's like, yep. And they are on like FaceTime together, and one of them hits music and they dance it. Oh, they dance it out. That's what they call it. They dance it out together for like 5 minutes, and they're like, all right, bye, see you later. And then they're off. It's
so fun.
Isn't that awesome? It's like their like moment to like let it all go. Like,
I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's like, she'll get a text, or she'll send her a text. Hey, you ready to dance it out? And they're like, yep. And they get on and they do it. She's like, doesn't matter where I'm at. We dance it out. I'm like, all right.
No, that's what I love. There's no right way to do. There's no wrong way. It's at that place of love for yourself. So that's what I want people to remember. Love yourself.
That's awesome.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Erin. This has been such a pleasure having you on.
So much fun to be here. Thank you.
And we also want to thank our sponsor, Alicia Boateng Designs. If you don't have your own special Alicia Boateng coffee cup, you need to get one because they're amazing. And we want to thank our audience for tuning in today, because obviously with no one to listen to us, there's no point in us doing this. So thank you all for tuning in. If you've liked what you heard today, please like, comment, follow, share. Testimonials. We'd love to hear what you think of our show. And if you need to get in contact with Erin or Allison or myself, check the show notes. All of our contact, social media, websites, how to buy Erin's book, it's all in the show notes. So check it out there. And with that, I want to wish everybody a magical day. Bye.